day 6 of our Spain adventure. Sorry if it's loud. Walking by a pretty busy street right now. But today we are going to really explore the city of Sevilla, and we are going to the churches and Cathedral of the city. In this installment of our Spain trip, we are going to be taking a look at so many of the best attractions in the city of Sevilla. Sevilla is the capital of Andalusia, and it is an amazing site of culture, food, history, art. Overall, it is one amazing city that you should really try to visit if you do end up in Spain. So this is the line for Real Azakar, the palace here, and this line is insane. Luckily we have bookings for tomorrow, but this line stretches all the way back down to where you can see the last spire, or the last tower of the castle, and a bit further than that, which is insane. After passing through the Christmas-decorated city of Sevilla, the first attraction that we came up to were the Setas de Sevilla. Now, the Setas de Sevilla are a very modern structure, mainly made out of wood, located in downtown Sevilla. They were built and completed in 2011 in order to rehabilitate the tourist area and to encourage further tourism. So we have found ourselves at the Setas de Sevilla, and it is quite a nice view. €3 a piece, and you can see the cathedral, the church, and all the other buildings of the city. The view from the Setas is truly stunning, and it gives you a panoramic sense of the whole entire city. Now, the next attraction that we found ourselves at was the Iglesia Colegio del Vino Salvador. Now, this colorfully painted church used to be a mosque, but now has been converted into a Baroque-style Roman Catholic church. And it features really impressive architecture on the inside, and the ornaments and altars and different things in this building are truly splendid. But there is one reason that you might want to come here, even though it isn't a major tourist destination in the city of Sevilla, and that is, it will grant you tickets to the Sevilla Cathedral. Now, the line for the Cathedral can tend to get really long and last for hours, but if you buy your tickets at this church, you can get in with little to no wait at all in the main Cathedral. So after touring the Iglesia for around half an hour, we found ourselves in the main attraction of Sevilla, the Cathedral de Sevilla. Now, this is one of the largest Gothic cathedrals in the entire world, and it is really, really impressive. The roof is so high, and it really makes you wonder how such an impressive building could have been built such a long time ago. Now, there are some attractions within this major cathedral, including the tomb of Christopher Columbus, a massive plaza with a whole bunch of orange trees, and a bell tower from the Moorish times. For lunch, we found ourselves at a modern fusion kind of tapas place, and it was quite a good meal. A little bit pricey given that it was in closer proximity to the touristy areas, but the food in Sevilla is overall really good, and you can't really go wrong with anything. So we are now just exploring the city. Earlier this morning, as you saw, we went and checked out a couple of churches and the main Cathedral. And now we are just walking around, and you can see the beautiful river behind me. Overall, the city of Sevilla is just so beautiful. There's really no need to come up with too much of a concrete plan or spend too much money, because just walking around the city and seeing the history, seeing the old buildings, and going alongside the river is plenty enough, and it makes for a great time. About 6 hours and 9 miles later, we are back at the apartment, and we are probably going to take a little break now, given how strenuous the last few days have been in terms of walking. So I'll see you guys when we head out for dinner, and we also have an awesome flamenco show coming up later tonight. Sevilla is a pretty trendy city and pretty touristy city at the same time, meaning there's quite a good atmosphere and certainly a lot of shopping opportunities around. Now, since we visited just a few days after Christmas, most of the beautiful lights were still up, and it made for incredibly nice plazas and a really cool vibe. Now, there was one really weird thing in Spain, and that was major gatherings for, let's just say, kind of iffy shows, I guess you would call it. In Sevilla, we found a crowd of probably 2,000 to 3,000 at least people who gathered to watch a dramatic rendition of Hark the Herald Angels Sing. After that unique experience, we ended up in a small tapas restaurant, which was actually really good. Each of the plates cost between roughly 3 to 8 euros, which is a fair price to pay, in my opinion, to get pretty quality food. So you're probably not going to end up breaking the bank in this city. After our dinner, we went to a flamenco show, which is something that you really should try to see in your time in Sevilla. Thank you for watching, and if you enjoyed the video, make sure to like and subscribe. See you next week. Bye.